I was recently sent an article to review from a dear friend, Roman Pichler. It's called How to Get Started with Outcome Based Product Roadmaps. Now, I can tell you already before I even start, this sounds like a really good idea. It sounds like something we should all be doing. So let's take a look and see what Roman has to say and see where we can take this. He starts saying outcome based product roadmaps offer many benefits over traditional feature based ones, including a strong focus on the value a product should create. Let's stop there for a second. Forever, I have said we should be focusing on outcome instead of output. And this is exciting because this is going to drive us in that direction. But then comes the question, how can you introduce this new approach when an organization is used to feature based plans and stakeholders find it difficult to trust an outcome based roadmap? To address this challenge, he introduced a 4-step process. So let's go through the 4 steps and let's talk about those. But before we start, you need to understand the difference between traditional versus outcome based roadmaps. So, if I were to describe briefly the main differences between a traditional feature and an outcome based product roadmap, a traditional roadmap is essentially a list of features which are mapped onto a timeline. Such a plan might work if there's little uncertainty, little change, and little innovation present. And you can correctly predict the product should look and what it should look like and what it should do. But in today's fast changing digital product space, that's hardly ever the case. Using a feature-based roadmap that fixes the product functionality for the next, say, 12 months, therefore risks creating a product that offers wrong functionality and creates little value for the users and the customers. Let's stop there for a second. One of the quotes that I'm famous for saying in my product owner class is when you're creating a roadmap and you put more ambiguous items there, if you are doing feature-based, one of the important things to do is to make sure you remind people when I say, why is this so ambiguous, or why is this looking like this, or how did you come up with this? The answer should always be, I'm sorry, I didn't intend for it to be less than what you expected, but I was trying to protect your ability to change your mind. I'm going to say that again. I was trying to protect your ability to change your mind. Usually when you say that, it gives people an opportunity to refocus and say, oh, well, yeah, I want the ability to change my mind. Locking things in isn't going to give you that ability. Fortunately, a different road mapping approach has emerged in recent years, outcome-based or goal-oriented product roadmaps. The one that he invented is called the Go product roadmap. I'll put a link to it in the description. Instead of determining features, you first and foremost consider the specific value that the product should create, the outcomes it should achieve. This might include acquiring new customers, reducing churn, increasing engagement, improving conversion, reducing development time and cost by removing technical debt. To put it differently, instead of focusing on what needs to be delivered, ask yourself, why is it worthwhile and how is the product progressing? However, I find in my coaching work that management and business stakeholders can be very attached to their feature-based plans and expect to see roadmaps that state when a specific feature will be delivered. In such a situation, it could be a risk and a big ask to let go of a detailed feature-based plan and trust on an outcome-based, goal-oriented product roadmap. If you find yourself in a similar situation, here are 4 steps you can follow to help you along. Here we go. Step number 1, set an outcome-based goal for the next 3 months. To get started, set a single outcome-based goal for the next 3 months. An example for an online shop might be increase our conversion rate by 5%. Make sure that the goal states the positive impact that you want to make for the user and customer experience and for the business. Avoid the pitfall of setting feature-based goals such as prioritize the search results or improve the search algorithm. Think about why and not what. Additionally, ensure the goal is specific and measurable so that you can clearly tell if it has been met. Make sure you involve the key stakeholder and stakeholders as well as individuals from the development team in the goal-setting process. This helps you leverage their knowledge and creates transparency and strong alignment and maximizes the chances that they'll follow the goal. Aim to achieve consent. This means that nobody involved in the goal-setting process has any meaningful objections against the goal. A great way to engage in individuals is to invite them to a collaborative workshop, which may take place on-site or online. Ask a skilled facilitator to run a session, especially when the attendees don't know each other well and the level of trust could be low. This frees you from having to facilitate and allows you to focus on setting the right goal. Okay, let's go to step 2. Step 2 says use the outcome to determine the features. With a specific, measurable, outcome-based goal in place, determine the features that have to be delivered to meet that goal. A practical way to achieve this is to focus on the product backlog focus the product backlog based on outcome. Start by removing any backlog items which are not required to create the desired outcome. Delete or archive them. Then determine how the product has to change to meet the goal. Does the user experience have to be adapted? Do you have to add or change functionality? Do you have to meet new or enhanced non-functional requirements, including compliance standards? Are bug fixes and architecture refactoring work required to achieve the outcome? Decline any feature requests that do not help you meet the goal. Use the outcomes as your decision tool and stick to it, unless it becomes invalid. Don't make the mistake of accepting a feature to please a stakeholder or avoid a difficult conversation. Saying no is part and parcel of a product person's job. As I discuss in more detail, it is important to say no because every no that you say is in essence saying yes to something else. And every time you say yes, you're saying no to something else. So you need to be real careful about your approach there. Okay. Next step. How you like this? Review the approach. Go figure. At the end of the 3 months, review how the new approach had worked and what worked for you and what didn't work. What went well, what didn't. Did you manage to meet the goal? How beneficial was using the agreed outcome to determine a product features? To what extent do management and business stakeholders support an outcome-based roadmap? If the approach was somehow but not entirely successful, or the level of support is still low, repeat steps 1 and 2 and set another goal for the next 3 months. Consider what you might do differently this time to be more successful. Should you, for example, involve the stakeholders more closely in the goal-setting process? Should you do a better job of focusing everyone on outcomes? Should you be more ruthless and decline feature requests that don't fit the goal? If the approach was successful and management and stakeholders support it, then you're ready for step 4, which is the big step. Step 4 is build an outcome-based product roadmap. Having successfully used an outcome-based goal to determine a product features puts you in a great position to set outcomes for the next 6 or 12 months and build on an outcome-based product roadmap using a template. He has a template for the Go product roadmap that he recommends. The template places the outcomes at the center of the roadmap. It uses selected features, but these must help meet the goals. Additionally, they have to be a coarse-grained and are limited to 3 to 5 capabilities per goal. You can learn more about this by practice and by practical application as you go. Before you start building your outcome-based roadmap, ensure that a valid product strategy exists. Such a strategy should state that the users and customers who will benefit from the product, the needs the product will address, and the business benefits it will offer, and a standout feature which will set it apart from all the competing offerings, which is particularly important for commercial products. Once a valid product strategy is available, use it to determine the right roadmap outcomes. To achieve this, you have a couple of options. First, you can derive the roadmap goals directly from the needs and business goals by breaking them into sub-goals. Second, you can use KPIs, key performance indicators, to discover outcomes such as increasing engagement or reducing churn, as long as these are aligned within the needs of the business goals and the strategy. Finally, don't forget to involve the stakeholders and the key stakeholders and representatives from the team anytime you're working on a roadmap. As described above, invite the individuals to collaborative workshops where they can co-create a product roadmap. This will help you make the right road mapping decisions and generate stronger buy-in because you're getting the people who are building the product or service involved earlier. I couldn't agree more with this, Roman. I think you're definitely on the right track. I'm happy to put a link to this article in the description of this post. If you are struggling with roadmaps, I encourage you to take a look at this. This is something that does work. I strongly encourage it. And you can even use AI to assist you with this, which is even more cool. So that's going to do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, learn more at AgileDad.com. We'd love to hear from you. As always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.